Alright, Middle-Aged White Guy Reacts, back again today with another video for you. Today's video, I got some Samson, alright? It's been a while since we've seen Samson. It's been a while since you guys have seen me. It's been several weeks since I've uploaded. Had some family in town from out of state, and, you know, they were staying at my house, so couldn't really take the time to record, and it would be kind of awkward with a house full of people, you know, talking into a microphone for a half an hour. But they're gone. Samson's here. Okay, so they left, Samson came. All right, so Samson dropped this a day or two ago, and they left a day or two ago, so this is perfect timing. So we have Samson, and this is What About Us. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Let's see what Samson has in store for us today. Let's go. Give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Okay.
Don't tread on me. Those are words that I stand by, homie. It doesn't mean I'm gangster. It doesn't mean I'm...
This beat already is fucking hard. This beat is hard, man. Hold on. I love how this comes in.
Don't tread on me. Those are words that I stand by, homie. It doesn't mean I'm gangster. It doesn't mean I'm country. It means that my life is in my hands only. I don't...
Damn, man. Samson, well freaking said. Wondering where you're going to go with that. Well said. Don't tread on me. It's not about being a gangster or country or anything. He just wants to be left alone to live his life, essentially, is what he is saying there. You know, and I think that's a perfect way to put a meaning behind that phrase, okay? That simply, when you boil it down, that's what it means. Just leave me alone. Let me live my life. All right, Samson, let's go, man.
I stand by, homie. It doesn't mean I'm gangster. It doesn't mean I'm country. It means that my life is in my hands only. I don't have money for security. I don't have armed guards that I keep snug around me. You don't think God is a protection like you do, and that means you don't give a fuck about me.
Hey, you know, hey, man, they want to leave you with no way to protect yourself. He doesn't have money for security, okay? You know, so if you don't want him to have protection of any kind whatsoever, do you really care about him? So for all you average, everyday citizens out there, do these elites, these government officials who have the armed security, the bodyguards, and they're, you know, drafting legislation to curtail your rights, do they really care about you? You know, I don't know. That's up for you to decide, I guess.
Thug around me. You don't think God is a protection like you do, and that means you don't give a fuck about me. Gated community, that's what you live in. Hatred and mutiny, that's what we live in. So come down here and hang with us for a minute. See if you leave with the same fucking opinion.
God, so... Dude, this song is so fucking hard, man. Everything about it so far, his cadence, the beat, holy shit, man. I already like Samson. I already like him, so it's like it's impossible for me to like him more. But in the first 38 seconds, like acoustically, this is probably the best song I have heard from him so far. Just from the first 38 seconds. I mean, oh, God, this is amazing. Hold on.
Doing that means you don't give a fuck about me. Gated community, that's what you live in. Hatred and mutiny, that's what we live in. So come down here and hang with us for a minute. See if you leave with the same fucking opinion.
You know, come live with the normal folks for a minute, people, all right? So you're off in those gated communities. Why don't you come down here, live where we live, see how things actually are in the real world. You know, maybe your opinions change. Maybe you know, things aren't as they seem in your, you know, fantasy world that your money and power and fame have allowed you to live in. And it's a great point, man.
That's what we live in, so come down here and hang with us for a minute. See if you leave with the same fucking opinion. Who's gonna help me out if I get robbed? What if somebody were to beat up my mother? Who's gonna be there to save our lives? You? Nah, me, motherfucker.
Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. Dude, this song is so fucking hard. Already, this is so fucking hard. Holy shit, man. Oh, pulls out the 1911, man. Oh, me, motherfucker. Oh my God, hold on. Let's go, man. Oh, this is beautiful.
If you leave with the same fucking opinion, who's gonna help me out if I get robbed? What if somebody were to beat up my mother? Who's gonna be there to save our lives? You? Nah, me, motherfucker. I'm the only one that's got my back.
I can't even take it. I can't even take this. Oh my God. Oh my God, Sam. What are you doing to me, man? This is a whole different. This is a whole nother level from him. This is a completely different level of Samson. I'm a minute in. I am blown away already by this. This is insanity. Everything about this is fucking spot on, perfect so far. Like, the beat, like I said, the beat, the cadence, his lyrics, what he's talking about. Oh my God. Oh, I have not been this hyped by a song on this channel in a minute. All right, it's happened before. Stuff gets me hyped. Okay, I can never tell when it's going to happen. It's been a minute since a song has done this to me, though. This is fantastic. Holy shit.
Beat up my mother. Who's gonna be there to save our lives? You? No, me, motherfucker. I'm the only one that's got my back. It's dog eat dog. These are not no cats. There's cops in the
This is dog eat dog. Hold on. How does he say this? Hold on. Dog eat dog. There is no cats or something like that.
I'm the only one that's got my back. It's dog eat dog. These are not no cats. There's cops.
These are not no cats. All right, man. Dog eat dog.
Me, motherfucker. I'm the only one that's got my back. It's dog eat dog. These are not no cats. There's cops in Michigan that can't even respond to the calls because the cars ain't got no gas. Great.
Oh, what? I didn't hear about that. Cop cars didn't have enough gas to patrol around? Wait a minute. What's going on?
There's cops in Michigan that can't even respond to the calls because the cars ain't got no gas. Great.
Okay. Michigan sheriff won't send cops to non-life-threatening calls due to gas prices. Wow. Holy. Oh. Oh, God. No mean tweets, though, guys. There's been no mean tweets lately. We got that going forward,
There's
too.
cops in Michigan that can't even respond to the calls because the cars ain't got no gas. Great. Police don't have any fuel. You don't know if they'll arrive when you call them. The babies are starving. My girlfriend can't find a tampon, and yet somehow you and I are the problem.
Is there tampon shortages? What is going on in this world? Christ, man. Hold on.
The calls because the cars ain't got no gas. Great. Police don't have any fuel. You don't know if they'll arrive when you call them. The babies are starving.
Oh, the babies are starving. Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, he's talking about the shortages and everything. My sister-in-law lives in Montana. Gave me and my wife a call. We're on the East Coast, okay? She could not find formula anywhere around her, all right? Not even online. So it was like 9:30 at night. There was a couple of different stores that I could check for this formula. And I had a half an hour to do it because they were closing at 10. I ran, like, sped to like 3 different places, got as much formula for her as I could, and we shipped it to her over in Montana. Like, that's what we had to do. We had to, and like, so my wife's sister lives in Montana. My wife's mom lives in Tennessee. She was doing the same thing in Tennessee. She was looking in the Tennessee stores. So between that, and they have a sister in Colorado. So between all these different states, we were able to thankfully find enough formula to ship over to Montana so that our little baby niece could survive. You know, it was messed up. It's messed up. I didn't know about the tampons though. That sucks too. But that's not as bad a situation.
Police don't have any fuel. You don't know if they'll arrive when you call them. The babies are starving. My girlfriend can't find a tampon, and yet somehow you and I are the
yeah, exactly.
I've never brought a gun without having my background scanned and approved. The only loophole I've seen on a gun is the one that you put a fucking lanyard through.
You know, and that's the thing, man. Even at gun shows, okay? Even at gun shows, there is not a loophole. If you're dealing with an FFL at a gun show, they are doing a background check on you. It's not a free-for-all. It is not a free-for-all. And not how they portray it, at least. There are instances where firearms can change hands without background checks. They're private sales, though, between 2 private individuals. All right? It has nothing to do with the gun show, okay? Like, the gun show, just that people happen to be there and they have a common interest, and maybe you meet somebody or somebody has something they're looking to get rid of, whatever. I'm saying 99% of the firearms exchanging hands at a gun show are between customers and FFLs, though. I mean, let's be honest here. So I've never ran across a situation where I've seen or were able to purchase anything from anyone without a background check myself. So, you know, it is what it is, but let's go.
Scanned and approved. The only loophole I've seen on a gun is the one that you put a fucking lanyard through. It's not true that you can go to the store and just swipe your card and get a Glock and run. It's funny, the people that say that shit have literally never even shot one.
Yep.
Hey, Matthew McConaughey.
And then we had a couple of different reporters try to go out and show how easy it was to buy a firearm. And they ended up getting denied on their background check. So they went into the stores. They were expecting just a quick, easy process. And walking out the door with a firearm didn't happen. Blew up their whole narrative. They still tried to stick with that narrative, though, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's hilarious.
People that say that shit have literally never even shot one. Dumbass. Hey, Matthew McConaughey. Shut the fuck up. Just because you murdered people on screen doesn't mean you know shit about guns, you dumb fuck.
What was it? I don't know what McConaughey was saying. I try not to pay attention to celebrity gossip and news. I'm assuming he popped off after one of the shootings saying, protect the children. We need to get these guns. You know, we shouldn't need, you know the arguments. I'm sure that's the line of reasoning he was going down. So I'll assume I know what McConaughey said. Because it's pretty much copy and paste at this point.
Shut the fuck up. Just because you murdered people on screen doesn't mean you know shit about guns, you dumb fuck. What? You worried about us? What about all of those violent movies that you played? How about you go talk to Alec Baldwin before you start telling me what to do, okay?
Well, you know, the way that gun fires that Alec Baldwin has, it's a conscious decision to pull that trigger. That's a double action pistol. The only way you fire that weapon is if you squeeze the trigger all the way.
I was horrified by it. That's your hometown, you were born right by it. It probably cuts deep, and I hope that it does, because you work in an industry that glorifies violence. It's more your fault than it will ever be mine. Lord only knows how many...
You know, and I like action movies, okay? Don't get me wrong. I love action movies, you know, but it's funny that the members of society who are the, or at least the famous members of society who are the biggest advocates against, you know, or advocates for removing, you know, gun rights, made millions of dollars, money hand over fist, selling violence on TV to us for the last, you know, 5-6 decades or whatever. It's hilarious. Like I said, I like action movies. Don't get me wrong.
More your fault than it will ever be mine. The Lord only knows how many crimes that you've influenced throughout your whole career, because I've seen you kill people plenty of times. What do you think is going to cause a shooting?
Well, you know, that's their whole, that's their logic being used against them. What he just said right there, how it's like, you know, I've seen you kill people so many times, you've probably are responsible for like all these crimes or whatever. That's the logic that they use. So he's just, you know, spitting that kind of crap right back at him. We know Matthew McConaughey is not responsible for any specific crime. All right. But if you listen to a certain section of society's line of reasoning, you know, just because I support the Second Amendment, you know, children's blood is on my hands now or something like that. It's supposed to be the thing. But I digress.
Violence is more your fault than it will ever be mine. The Lord only knows how many crimes that you've influenced throughout your whole career, because I've seen you kill people plenty of times. What do you think is going to cause a shooting? A YouTube video of a gun review? Or a Hollywood murder scene that seems so realistic it looks like it's from the news? So next time that you want to point your finger with a stupid...
You know, like I said, you know, this is all their logic being thrown back in their face, and, you know, it is what it is. It's funny. It's funny because, I mean, the man's right, though. The man's right. Like, you're going to talk about, you know, oh, we can't have these, you know, YouTubers, like, shooting guns, reviewing guns, showing how guns work. You know, but all the violence and stuff that we've done over the years and put on TV, in movies, that's just A-okay. That has nothing to do with what happens in society. But that one guy who reviewed, you know, the Jimenez Arms 9mm a couple of years ago, you know, he must have influenced people. Yeah, it makes no sense, man.
scene that seems so realistic, it looks like it's from the news. So next time that you want to point your finger with a stupid opinion and chime in with it, remember, it ain't me that they're trying to be like, dog. It's you that they're trying to mimic. I feel way more safe in a place where the people are legally armed. If something happens like a mass shooting, I have a way less chance of being lethally harmed.
Yep. And I live in a constitutional carry state, and it's it's so far it's been a pretty safe environment since that law has been enacted. At least in my area. There's other areas that have their problems. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's I like living in an area that allows people to freely exercise their rights. It makes me feel good.
People are legally armed. If something happens like a mass shooting, I have a way less chance of being lethally harmed. The criminal.
Speaking of which, dude, that guy, man. I forget which one it was now. Was it Uvalde or whatever? I don't know. Whichever city it was in, the guy who stopped the shooting, hit the target 8 out of 10 times. Moving target 8 out of 10 times from 40 yards with a Glock. That's insanity. That is insane accuracy for that situation. I mean, I am thoroughly impressed. There's like a 22-year-old kid to be able to put that many shots on target with the adrenaline dump that he must have been experiencing in a life or death situation on a moving target 40 yards away. 40 yards, 120 feet. Effective pistol range is, for the average person, 20 yards. 10 to 20 yards. Any deviation from center is dramatically influences the direction of the bullet. It's such a short barrel that you're working with. So that was just all around impressive by that kid. I forget his name, but yes, absolutely. I don't know what made me think of that. I'm sure I'm going to remember it after I start playing this again.
Legally armed. If something happens like a mass shooting,
yeah, that's why.
Being lethally harmed. The criminal is gonna think twice if he knows everybody is a piece underneath their clothes. Mayor Lightfoot will probably tell you different, but have you seen Chicago?
No.
Before you ask, I don't want to be like Canada either, and I don't want to be like Australia. I'm sick of everybody using them as a humanity meter. There's a reason that they can do whatever they want to their citizens, like fucking throw them in camps. And there's a reason that our government doesn't even try that shit because they know that they can't. If you don't.
Yeah, and you go into any of those comment sections about like stories under Australia, especially during COVID. They were saying, we never should have basically went down this road. We shouldn't have went down this road because now look, we have no recourse. So keep that in mind, people. Go look at some of the stuff that they were doing to their citizens there. It was awful.
Throw them in camps. And there's a reason that our government doesn't even try that shit because they know that they can't. If you don't think for one split second that if we didn't have our Second Amendment, the government wouldn't overstep its boundaries and make us do shit even when we're against it.
And they already do. Even with the Second Amendment, they already do. So what makes you think they would just stop where they've already gone? They would go way off the deep end. Hey, buddy, what you doing? You up from nap time? I'm making a video. You want to come say hi real quick? No? Yes? Come here and say hi to Samson. He's just paused on the screen. He's not really here. Say hi, Samson. Oh, come here. Come here. Say hi, Samson. Oh, come on. You can give a good one. Oh, you're going to be shy now? It's just a man on a screen. It's paused. It's a video. It's a YouTube video. That's not Samson? All right, buddy. I have a couple more minutes. Here, let's go get you set up. Do you want a little snack? All right, guys. From this point, skip ahead about a minute. I'm going to go set him up with a snack. Just got up from his little nappy, so give me 1 minute. I'm not editing this out. All right. So apparently nap time is over. We have kids climbing out of cribs. I put him in a chair, gave him some raisins and his iPad for a little bit. So we have to get going on this and get it wrapped up because that is not going to contain him for very long. Now he's strapped in. He's not going anywhere. His older brothers are up there with him. That's people are going to start fighting in a little bit. So we got to get going. Let's do it. Let's get going here. Sorry about that delay, guys.
Out of your mind. The government wouldn't overstep its boundaries and make us do shit even when we're against it. You're out of your mind. I don't give a damn where you stand or how or what you vote. That's dandy and fine if you trust Uncle Sam, but I, for one, fucking don't. And
Nope.
why would I?
And I have been very untrusting of authority in general pretty much all of my life. I don't know if it's just, besides my father, that was the only authority figure I would listen to growing up. It was my dad. But maybe it's just how I'm wired, I guess.
That's dandy and fine if you trust Uncle Sam, but I, for one, fucking don't. And why would I? What have they done? Give me a reason for me to believe them. They want to trade me a little security in exchange for a big ass piece of my freedom. They don't want to take away guns.
Exactly. And what security are they offering me at the end of the day? They want to take away a big right, okay, a very large right. How are they offering me security by removing my means of protection? They don't have a cop stationed outside of my house at all times. I don't have armed security, like he said at the beginning of the song. So, you know, what security am I receiving? All right, I don't know. Doesn't seem like I'm getting a fair deal there.
Security in exchange for a big ass piece of my freedom. They don't want to take away guns because they care about you and they want to keep you safe at night. They want to take away guns because it's easy to control people if they don't have any way to fight. Hey, buddy.
Like I said, ask Australia. Ask Australia. Go into any of those comment sections under those stories about things that were happening during lockdown, and they all kind of realized, you know, what the problem was, essentially.
They want to take away guns because it's easy to control people if they don't have any way to fight. Hey, buddy, what's your little AR-15 gonna do when the government comes to take it? Well, Ukraine started handing out rifles to all of their citizens when the Russians invaded, so what about...
Yep. And, you know, I don't know how much I can get on this on YouTube or how much I would want to, but, you know, a bunch of untrained people in the Middle East have been fighting our military for decades, and, you know, they're still there fighting it. So, you know, take from that what you will, I guess.
Well, Ukraine started handing out rifles to all of the citizens when the Russians invaded, so what about that? I thought it wouldn't help. I guarantee that it'd be better than nothing. I hope it never does, but if the day comes, I bet that you're gonna wish that you had something. This is the only country on earth where the people have real strength, and now...
And like I said, man, I wish I could go into this part of this song right here. Well, you know, what he's talking about right now. I wish I can go into this. There's no way for me to word anything in a way that, you know, gets my point across yet. Gives me plausible deniability. All right. So we're going to have to kind of let this pass. But yes, I don't think all that scenario he is speaking about would be as cut and dry as some would like you to believe.
This is the only country on earth where the people have real strength. And nowadays, with all the shit going on, it's the only thing that makes me feel safe. If there's anything that I've learned in the past couple years looking back at the pandemic, all of the shit that we have is fragile, and it can snap at any second. Fuck all of the
What's the saying? You're what, 3 meals away or 9 meals away or something like that. There's a certain number of meals you are away from a revolution, essentially. Basically saying that if the food runs out, your citizenry is going to be pretty upset after a couple of days, basically. Let's just say you have 2 or 3 days from a food shortage when people aren't eating to when revolution will begin, all right? Hungry people are desperate, and they do desperate things.
All of the shit that we have is fragile, and it can snap at any second. Fuck all of the politicians. I don't trust anything they say. Take the word gun out of gun control, and that's all that it is at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck how crazy you think that I look or I sound when I say this shit, but our Second Amendment's the only thing that stands between us and a dictatorship.
Boom. Thank you.
And as for the kids,
remember, there'll be a rifle behind every blade of grass. Isn't that what Japan said? That's why they didn't want to attack us during WW2. And then once they did, they realized that they've probably awoken a sleeping giant, and they were never going to be able to come attack us on our soil, just because there's just too much that they would have to contend with from the citizenry alone.
and as for the kids, I'm not a security expert, so I won't act like one. But I think that if we can send over $50 billion to Ukraine, we could surely spend that much, or more, or less, here in our own country to fortify our schools and make them more secure so that every kid can get an education safe and sound. Place several trained armed guards in every school across America. You know, real men who won't stand by for 45 minutes in the hallway while a shooting unfolds in front of their own eyes.
Yeah, so Uvalde was probably the school one. Now that I'm like thinking about it, whatever the mall one was a different one. But yeah, just correcting the record. All right, I'm sure everybody's nailed me in the comments for it already.
By for 45 minutes in the hallway while a shooting unfolds in front of their own eyes. And pay them well too. There's veterans that need the work. Why not protect our kids the same way that we protect you? Politicians are protected by guns.
Jeez,
celebrities are protected by guns.
Absolutely.
Every important person that walks this earth is protected by a gun. But our kids, they're important. Just not as much as you.
Oh, Christ, man. This song was amazing, man. Oh, freaking amazing. Great job, Samson. You know, and he's got great points. You know, why is, how is it that anybody can walk into a school anywhere in this country nowadays? There should be one entrance, one exit during the school day. Everything else should be buttoned up. All right. The entrance and exit should pass by the main office first, so that there's adults screening who is coming into the building and who is leaving the building. And you know, I went to school in the 90s, and we had a resource officer that was there in our high school that had a gun on them. Okay. So it's not unheard of. It's not impossible. It actually has been a thing for 20 something years. So yeah, you know, you could station an officer at every school. And if that's not possible, at the very least, the entire facility needs to be locked down. And they need to force people to come in essentially through a choke point. All right. You want everybody funneling in and out during the school day, during school hours, through one main point. All my children's schools have been that way with locked doors. Okay. So why isn't every school fitted like that? It would not cost $50 billion to change a couple of locks on some doors around some school buildings across the entire country. All right. And if it did, we just sent that money to Ukraine. Like he said, why couldn't we spend that here? So amazing point, Sam. This is an amazing song. I wish I could go a little deeper on some of the aspects he was talking about in the middle. But that's a recipe for getting my shit taken down and getting me flagged. So I'm just not going to really be able to comment much. But yeah, think of Afghanistan and Vietnam if you want to know kind of what my thoughts on how all that would work out would be. So there you have it. That'll do it. That'll be the video. Middle-aged white guy is out. Peace.